ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea. Usually I'm sitting behind the camera over there, and I can tell if I'm being too loud or not, or if you guys are talking too loud.
You can't see the little thing.
My eyes are going. I'm 31 now, and it's just not what it used to be, but it seems okay.
Hey.
Welcome back to After the Message. We are here recapping the very last week of Holy Broken.
Yeah.
Josh did an 8-week sprint, hogging all the time that he could, talking about the things he likes to talk about. Just kidding. And then Jay wrapped it up really well yesterday. It was really good.
It was. Thank you.
I was super skeptical seeing your name there wrapping up the series.
Oh my gosh.
Me too. Me too.
No, I'm just kidding. Really, I was not surprised that you knocked it out of the park. Especially, so we can dive straight into it. The way you opened it, the decision to bring in your story. I don't know that anyone on staff is better equipped to lead that charge, being the group's guy, know and be known. Like, I think you absolutely nailed it, man. It was really good.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, So let's talk about how that came to be.
Yeah.
So I preached the message 3 weeks ago before I went on ministry leave, and that story was not a part of that message.
He conveniently left out that whole side.
I did. I conveniently left it out because my nature is hide.
Right.
Right.
And that story, is as hard as it is. I mean, it is a part of my story, but I would just as soon not stand in front of a whole bunch of people like I did yesterday and share all my business. But fortunately, there are staff folks that listened to me practice that said, you can't not share that part of your story.
Right.
Yeah.
So we weaved it in, and I mean, I shared a lot of the high level points of it. If somebody's interested, I can give you more of it. I mean, but it's just a place where, it hurt to sit in that message several weeks ago when Josh preached about mental health.
Right.
I know the people sitting behind me had to wonder, is he okay? I fidgeted I wanted to get up and leave, but I knew I was right where I was supposed to be. But then the thought of walking into our young adult singles group and having to throw questions out there and talk about all this stuff. Because one of the things we practice in that group is, we just practiced honesty and throwing it all out there, and we're all broken. And it's been encouraging, to walk with them through some things. But man, the story yesterday seems to have been, I'm thankful for the encouragement to include it. The story yesterday, from people that have just shared with me, that was the connector for them that made sense of everything that we talked about yesterday.
Well, particularly, I'm assuming a lot of the folks who are watching actually watched the sermon, but it was the wrap up from being broken to being sent.
Yes.
And I think that's why it was so important for you to include that. Because it showed this picture of, yes, there was brokenness, but the Lord didn't just heal you. He restored and redeemed you for ongoing ministry. Right. And probably a ministry with more life and more, hope and effectiveness because of how the Lord had transformed you through that season of pain and brokenness.
Right.
Can I push a little bit? And
yeah, please do. Absolutely. You can.
How would you see your ministry? For those, most people probably know you were in ministry before.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Fruitful ministry. And then how did the Lord use that time to transform you, and how you maybe carried out ministry differently post that season?
Yeah. I kind of smirk at that a little bit. I was the guy, pastor wise, if I take a spiritual gifts inventory, my hope and empathy level is pretty low. Okay. I can do a lot of other things really, really well, but those two things I did not do very well at all.
Right.
So as I'm navigating through these moments, having all of these health things going on, what I didn't say yesterday is my wife hauled me to a hospital one evening. I think it was around 1 a.m. I thought I was dying of a heart attack. That started the testing process of all the different things that could be wrong. Everything comes back normal, but yet every day just feels worse and worse and worse. And then along the way,
which if you have anxiety, that just feeds the anxiety.
Absolutely.
Because the unknown is
Yes.
what's causing the anxiety. So, yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah.
so you're walking through all of this, and then that moment in the parking lot, I was in a meeting with you and Neil. Now, I don't know that I even shared this, but I don't remember what we did that day.
What year was this?
Man, I don't
about?
even remember exactly the exact number timeline, but at that point, I was working with YBL.
That's right.
Okay.
And I was just serving with these guys just as a volunteer,
lay
just
person.
helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a consultant for me.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Jay,
something.
what'd I do here?
I don't know what, but I was doing something. But that day I could not. I don't know what we talked about. But I walked to my car very slowly because the whole world was just spinning around.
Yeah.
And I sat in my car and I just felt everything that I'd been feeling. All of that hit at that point.
Wow.
So all of that experience, that's kind of the backstory to get to the answer to your question. Man, when we figured out what was going on and we tracked it back through a lot of questions and a lot of just hard conversations of reliving some things, we targeted back to the really unhealthy place that I left after 10 years. And it's all after all of that you get, in the next months and years, you're walking through this diagnosis. And man, I watched Satan do a work. Wow. I said it yesterday just a little bit that, man, Satan had me questioning everything.
Sure.
Can I be a good husband? Can I be a good daddy? Can I be a good grandfather? And am I even qualified to stay working in his church in ministry? And those were hard questions that just kept coming. I mean, it was so hard. But fortunately, the Lord had surrounded me with so many good people that I trusted and I believed in, and I was able to start sharing bits and pieces of the story as the Lord helped me figure some things out. And what I have found is the Lord has affirmed back again to Isaiah 6 over and over and over again. That's a place that God has taken me. But then what I saw in those moments, as we're kind of getting on maybe some of the other side of this, is the Lord took me back to that passage, and all I could hear is, "Are you willing to go again?"
Wow. Wow.
And I could hear affirmation from people that I trust and people that are close to me. I kept hearing that, but it changed the way I do ministry.
But it was a confirming season where the Lord validated and said, "Yeah,
absolutely,
I still want to use you."
But
here's
voice,
how it's going to be different.
Well, and the voice of Satan was loud.
Sure.
I mean, it was loud.
Yeah.
And it just felt like the Lord on the other end was beginning to affirm. But what it's done for me now is I have had more opportunities probably in the last 2 to 3 years to sit with men. And y'all know, guys as a whole, we don't like to share much of anything. We just like to keep it all buttoned up.
Right.
But it's given me the opportunity to sit with men. I just have a heart for men's ministry and sitting with guys that are hurting. But my empathy, the level of being able to sit with a guy and bro, I know right where
you feel it with them.
Absolutely, I can feel it. And then the other side of hope, where I was not necessarily the good old minister of hope. I feel like because I've been there, I've experienced what God has done in me. A very sentness, if that's a word.
Sounds good.
To throw hope, to throw empathy, and just put an arm around, especially a guy, and just say, "Man, you can.
Right.
You absolutely can. Don't listen to the voice of Satan." It's
really good.
So that's a long answer to say,
so
man.
Empathy and hope were two of the things that
absolutely
that really bounced out of that.
There's only one thing you said yesterday that I disagree, and it was during your story, or right at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
You said, "I know people don't like to hear their pastors junk," essentially. And I cannot disagree with that more.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that you guys heard his story or heard his message and had the mind to say, "Hey, this is going to be this is what's going to make all of this work." Because well, go ahead.
No, it's right, but I think to his point, we do kind of wonder if the congregation, there's going to be those who are like,
"Oh no, I get it."
Good grief, do any of our guys have it together?
Is there one dude on staff that's going to stand?
No,
That's right.
None of us do.
That's right.
And I think that's one of the things that I appreciate about our staff team and anybody that teaches if we really dig down into our stories, we're all messed up.
Man,
but I do
doubt.
wonder at times, Josh has shared all. I mean, everybody, and then here comes another broken pastor, and, do our people at some point just go, man, we don't trust you guys. You all messed up.
But it shows the other side, like you were talking about, like being in the crap.
Yeah.
And getting to the other side, being led to the other side of it. Like it's that phrase, like you can't lead people where you haven't been.
That's right.
Right.
Like you've lived out what it means to be transformed by the Lord. And so when you sit down with those guys and even girls, like being the group's pastor, like you can show them like the proof of like, testimony talk. Like it's like it's what validates, it's what makes it concrete what we're talking about from scripture. Like I can show you in my own life how this has happened. How it's tangible.
That pot that was, we had 2 pots yesterday.
12 6 ago was the pot.
The pot.
Right.
Love the pot.
With all the cracks and scars and scratches, I mean, the world would look at that and go, man, that's not useful at all.
Right.
Yet I can look at my life now, just like we all can, and we can see the cuts, the scratches, the scars, the ginormous holes that life has given us. But man, how awesome is it that our God looks at that and goes, that's useful. That is absolutely useful.
Right.
Well, if you look at the pots, like it kind of goes back to what Paul talks about, like I'll boast all the more my weakness. Like you can't see the light on the inside without all of those defects.
100%.
It's impossible.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's all your performance.
Yeah.
Right.
But when there's holes and cracks and it's his light that's coming through and not the pretty flowers that we try to produce.
Right.
It's just a different purpose and it's a different calling and it all is centered around the light coming through our brokenness. And we do. And I know it feels like there's a lot of us who we do struggle, but we hope we're modeling and pastoring in a way that says it's not about us.
Right.
It's him being him through our brokenness. And I think that's the posture for all of us in ministry, whether we're paid ministry or business guy who sees his business as his platform. It's all brokenness and allowing the Holy Spirit to be the light through the brokenness.
Right.
So
when you uncovering this anxiety and stuff like that, like what were the ways that you would hide? Like that was kind of a chunk of yours. I'll cut it if you want to.
No, cut it. Come on off the top row, man.
You, so I got time to think about it.
Yeah. Well, we talked about you brought it up in our pre-prep. Prep. I think just prep is fine.
Yeah.
How trying to earn value and stuff like that, earning the grace, earning the love, whatever. Like all of that, hiding yourself is just symptoms of wanting those things, thinking you can do the works to make that stuff happen. So like, what are the ways that, maybe probably even still pops up today that you have to push away from it. Like what are the ways that we do that?
So I would go back to the pots the first week. And I was really good in Introduction Sunday until he got to the pots. And that's why I told Braddy, I was kind of struggling to figure out, I knew I was going to preach this message, but how do you bring the pots back at the end, just because we started with them? But man, all I could see in me was the good pot.
Yeah.
Because that is the best place. You talked about planting flowers and covering over all of the junk in our world. And I think literally that's what I was doing for most of my life.
Wow.
I came from a family that was, very buttoned up. My grandfather was my pastor for as long as I could remember. I don't know, it's the first 13, 14 years of my life. And I grew up in a glass bowl. Everybody could see. And what I kept hearing all the time, perform, or don't do anything stupid to ruin his reputation. Yeah, I that's all I.
There's no one I envy less than pastors' kids or like generations of former pastors.
And I was that typical grandkid.
Yeah,
I was going to get in trouble. I was going to be. I remember a time when my grandfather called me down from the back row while he was preaching. Get down to the front.
Whoa.
Oh, hello. So I had performance in so I could perform with the best of them. And there are days when I still can.
Right.
But I think one of the things in hiding is we just find these things that we're comfortable with and we bring those things to the table and we try to get to the point where you won't ask me the hard question.
Right.
The way you got to get around that is you've got to have the right people around you that will ask you the hard question. As I was navigating through that, I had once we figured out what was going on, and that little pill that I talked about yesterday that I take, and it's a reminder. And when I shovel that joker down every morning, it's a prayer of thank you for this.
Yeah.
But help me not to hide today.
Yeah.
Help me. I don't know what all's coming today, but help me. I think we are master hiders.
Yeah.
And we put that mask on every day and we go do our thing. But man, we've got to have people around us that love us enough to know to just say, hey, what's going on?
Right.
Talk to me.
I think that's right, and we are very good at it. And what I feel and watch in my own life is it's not that we're hiders or not. Either we're vulnerable or we're not. It's not a black or white thing. It's not that today I was vulnerable. Well, probably in a lot of ways. And maybe
Right.
I was more vulnerable today than I was a year ago. But let's not kid ourselves. I'm still hiding.
Oh, yeah.
I still protect. I still deflect. I still corner off pieces that I'm not going to let you see today. And I think that's why I think we've got to view it as a maturity thing that will continue to the day we die. One, being able to be aware and acknowledge what we're hiding, because I don't know that I'll discover something next year that I was hiding today that I don't even know that I was
Absolutely.
aware of.
Yeah.
That's why there's such an importance of growth and being in tune with the Holy Spirit and going back to community. I'll have guys speak into my life to say, watch this.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, shoot. Yeah, that's me being protective and deflective.
So let me ask you a question. How those guys that are close to you, when do they ask you that question? What do they see in you that forces them to ask that question?
Well, they've got to know me well
There you
enough,
go.
right? So
Yeah.
they've got to have, I've got to have revealed enough of me
Yes.
so that they're watching for those cues. And it just takes time, and it
Right.
takes honesty and vulnerability, and it takes the intentionality to invite the people in who will be those kind of friends.
Right.
I could surround myself with friends
Yes, man.
and they're like, brother, we're behind you no matter what.
Great
We're
way
on
to
your
hide.
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Great way to hide.
Yeah, you're doing good, man. You just, we're gonna have your back no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I need brothers who will say, you're off there, dude. You
Right.
know, and
Right.
and that's
You need guys to come around in front of you and say,
yeah, hold
chill
up.
out, bro.
That's
Stop.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And
that
takes
so
work.
I am the group's pastor, and
Right.
I would miss the opportunity here, so I'm going to do a little plug here,
As you should.
because I think it is so important. The people out there that don't have community, they sit in a worship service every week, and that's it.
yeah.
You're not going to find very many places to be vulnerable and real. The vulnerability and the realness, it really starts in our life groups. And the beauty of what's happened in so many of our life groups as we practice knowing and being known, we've seen men's groups form. We've seen ladies groups form. And, if you show up on Wednesday nights, you see a lot of our adult space, men's group,
That's right.
women's group. And they hate it when they miss.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
they want to be dialed into that community where they're walking with each other through hard seasons of life, man. And I would just encourage, if you have not found your people,
Yeah.
give us the opportunity to help you find a group of people in a life group where you can really begin to do life and practice vulnerability. You can practice it at a very high level at that point. But then you begin to find some people, your 3 or 4,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you really invest some time and energy into, that they have the opportunity to be able to look at you and know you well enough to go, hey, bro, check.
Yep.
Let's have a conversation. Let's talk.
That's really good.
So when I assume you guys have those people in your life that can do that.
No, we're preachers. We just talk. We just talk about
talk
it.
a good game,
we
man.
encourage you to do it, but I'm not really all that into it.
That is fair. That's a perfect pastor way to hide.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But like, what do you see? Before you get to know them, like in those settings,
That's good.
Like you have to take the plunge to say, like I'm doing that. I'll say one person right now, Leo NG is someone that's coming into my life that could not be better for me
good.
because he does not care how you're feeling. I'm going to ask you these questions.
He is awesome.
Yeah,
I
he's great.
love
I'll
Leo.
call it like he sees it.
Yes, he
does.
is.
Yes, I love Leo.
Yeah.
But like, I could see that early on. What a year before he and I made the decision to start doing this. Like, what are those characteristics that you see in a friend to say, I could do this? This is someone I could live that kind of life with.
I think one, for me, is just some common interest. We have some things in common that we can talk about because, man, when we get together, we don't just talk about our brokenness. That's
Right.
not the whole conversation.
That was our only context of our relationship.
That would be awful.
that'd
I
tough.
think that's your counselor
Yeah.
and you need to pay them.
Yeah, that's awful. But
good.
I think having people around you that have common interest. I mean, some of the guys that they play golf. They enjoy
Yeah.
being outside, and we have things that we enjoy just talking about.
Yeah.
And there are days when it's just that, and they're how you doing? How you doing? What we're good. Really? Are you really good? Yeah, we are. And then
I like that. Are you really?
yeah,
good?
because I think you got to press into that because naturally, I'm good. I'm
Our
good.
southern hospitality. Is,
Absolutely.
I'm great, man.
We all good,
Couldn't
but
be better.
are you really good? Right. But I think so much of it is a camaraderie where you get there's a comfort level there, and then as you dig into a little bit more, I'm going to ask some questions to know whether my stuff, the things that I have walked through in my life, if they're going to be really honest with me, or if they're going to pat me on the back and say,
right.
Pastor, you're good. You're
Right.
good, man. God bless you. Go for the day.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I love that when it happens, but I don't want that in that scenario.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree with both of those. I think somewhere for me, there's been a scenario where one of us kind of took the first step.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's dangerous. It feels
Yeah.
very risky. But when you have that camaraderie, you understand their heart,
Right.
you see their love for the Lord and their love for me, you're like, okay, I'm going to take a step toward vulnerability,
Yeah.
or the other person does. And then that's what starts the domino. But somebody's got to take a risk,
Right.
to step first. And
Yeah.
then once there's trust and they don't just pat you on the back and say, but they're like, hey, let's pray through this, or let's talk through this. And then they come back 2 weeks later and they say, tell me how that's going.
Yeah.
Well, man, once you found that, now you found something special.
And I think one good way to answer the question is, in your life, something happens at 2 a.m, who's going to show up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think where the guys that are that for me, doesn't matter what time, they're going to show up. They're going to check me. They're going to support me. They're going to ask me the hard questions.
Right.
And I think where I eventually wind up is I've got people that I trust. They love me, believe in me. I love them, believe in them. And our hope and desire is God's best for each other.
That's good.
And we've got to press into that.
Yeah.
But I wonder how many people you can answer that question of, man, 2, 3 a.m, who you calling?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here's where I'm feeling some tension. I know we've got listeners. I know we've got people in our church who have not quite found their space. They haven't quite found a way to jump in this current of vulnerability, and they see it happening around them. And they're like, yeah, maybe, but I'm not sure I really want that.
Right.
I'm not sure that's necessary. Maybe they get over the hurdle of, yeah, that's a good thing, but they have no idea where to jump in.
Right.
And that's hard. I talked to a guy the other day. He said, yeah, I've been in the same Bible study for 25 years. We've never been vulnerable. I'm like, what?
That sounds terrible.
Like well, we do Bible study and we take prayer requests, but being honest about sin and struggle, we've never dipped into that. Well, how do you go from that place to, okay, I need to take a step? That's hard to do.
Absolutely.
What would you tell
I
that
feel
guy?
like, I don't know. I mean, life group is it feels like a permissible place to hide because
Yes.
you've taken that first step
Yeah,
of
that's
shrinking
right.
your circle. But even if you look at some of our life groups, there's some that we could take out and go plant a church.
Absolutely.
And that church would be thriving out of the
Absolutely.
gate.
Yes.
Which is it's a blessing. Like that many people involved in the groups, we're not gonna be sad about that.
Right.
But like look for the red flags. Like if you
You can be in a
say
life
that-
group and still hide.
Absolutely.
Correct.
you
Yeah.
can.
And I think
Yes.
even if you feel underqualified to be, lead that other person. Like if you like one thing you said earlier is like they have like tangible wisdom in the Lord. I think that's an important qualifier to starting, an accountability
Yeah,
person.
that's right.
Yes.
Find somebody in your life group that will say yes. Like even if you're not even that close with them, if this is something you are feeling that conviction that you're missing, take the leap on somebody that you may not
good.
even call them a great
That's
friend,
great,
but
yeah.
you know that they know about the Lord and what it means to walk with Him, and they're not gonna lie to you,
Right.
When you bring things up
Sure.
and stuff like that. I think it's just like what you talked about. It's taking that really scary step.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy. I think that's another
Right.
thing that you have to tell that person. Like nothing about this is gonna feel good in the beginning. Now once you get in it,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
realize,
yeah.
this is what I've been missing.
Yes.
But until you start it, you don't know. It's the same.
That's right.
It's the same thing in your story.
Absolutely.
Like you
Yeah.
don't. It sucks to be in it, but you don't know. It feels like it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
To take the leap.
The shame and the embarrassment.
Right.
It fights so hard.
Right. Well, and I would even go as far as saying, for the most part, I think all of our life group leaders, they are good with small groups forming. And if you feel like, man, you're sitting in one of our larger groups, because there's some of them are small churches.
Yeah.
And I would say,
Go talk to
start
your
it.
leader. Yeah.
Just
Do
teacher, leader. I'm going to get these 5 guys together, and we're going to start meeting for coffee on Tuesday morning at Chick-fil-A.
Or we have childcare every Wednesday for the most part.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
find a room.
We'll find you a
around-
little
yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
to
right.
Use it.
But feel free to start it.
Yeah.
That's been a lot of what's happened inside of our life groups. We talked earlier about the men's groups forming, ladies groups forming. The more we talk about knowing and being known, and we practice that, people have a desire for that.
Oh, for sure.
To some just put a toe in the water and see what that's all about.
Right.
Some people just need it so desperately, and they know that, and they have no clue. Just start it.
Right.
Just jump in and begin the process. And look, if you want to begin it and you can't figure out how to do that,
Come on.
Groups Pastor is your friend. We
That's
will
right.
help
I'll
you.
grab coffee with you.
Yes,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. Absolutely.
Find you
Let's
somebody.
go. Let's go.
I have no idea how long it's been, but it feels like that was pretty good. It's tough being on this other side. I can't see what's going on
Can't
over
see
there.
it either.
I can't
But
see.
I feel like that feels, unless you have something more to add.
I don't
before
really
we-
have much other than I just want to encourage
Yeah.
those who, and myself, you painted the picture of prison or confinement,
Yeah.
and the shame or embarrassment seems so bad or so scary that we allow it to create the walls of a prison and we stay trapped. And I just would encourage those, don't spend the rest of your life in that prison trying to protect yourself.
Right.
My concern is my generation and older, because I'm the older guy now. We spent a lot of time in Sunday school.
Yeah.
And we created a rhythm of how we do church. It's not going to be easy or comfortable to break out of that for some of our
Yes.
older folks.
That's right.
Who have a rhythm, have a way of doing church. And now this newfangled idea of vulnerability and community. I'm fine doing Sunday school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we've thought. And And to those guys and ladies, I would say, test that.
Absolutely.
And have the courage to really pray through that. And let's finish strong for some of us. Some of my favorite stories and testimonies are of older retired men.
Absolutely.
Who are now finding, where has this been all my life?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
And they're finding it here.
That's exactly right.
And some of these older, it's just so much fun to watch them. Or, most of when I discover those is I'm out and about in community and I walk in on a group and they're like, we just started doing this. I'm like, I love y'all.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
So, hey, one more thing. And I think it's really, really important as we wrap up the series. I think I said yesterday, this doesn't go away, but it's still very real. The tension that I felt putting all of this together and preaching was the surrendered brokenness versus the hidden brokenness. And I just believe with all of my heart there were people sitting there yesterday, maybe even listening to the podcast, that are still hiding that brokenness, and they have not experienced the true freedom and peace that comes with putting this out there and surrendering it to the Lord, giving up control, quit trying to create your own narrative, and just live in the peace and the freedom and watch God do what only God can do with your ministry platform.
That's right.
So, man, if you're hiding, my encouragement would be, man, stop.
Yeah.
Bring all of that out in the open and allow the Lord to do the work that only He can do.
And to land the plane on the whole series is that.
Yes.
But anticipate the fruit and the ministry platform the Lord is going to give you when you do that.
Yes.
We're all called to minister and to pastor. When you walk into that place of surrender, how the Lord is going to use you in the next season of life is so life-giving and fulfilling. Don't miss out on what the Lord can have for you in the way of ministry moving forward.
Yeah.
All right. That felt pretty good.
You did
we should
good,
start a
Chase.
podcast.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
You want to be the host?
No, I did not. I missed
I'm glad you dressed up for it, though.
Yes.
NASCAR, baby.
Yes.
Love it.
All right, a couple quick things. So we just ended our Harley Broken series.
Yeah.
Honestly, competitive for one of my favorite series that I've been a part of since I got here.
Yeah.
Granted, it's only been 3.5 years. Some of you guys are triple that. Not pointing any fingers. But we are transitioning into Advent here soon. Soon meaning in a week, I think.
It's next.
So we have a bunch of devos from respective people on our staff. You'll get those through the Bible
when do
reading
those
plan.
start? Next.
I feel like the first Sunday.
Okay, I think that's right. The
I hope
daily
that's right.
devotionals will come out
I hope
in
that's
alignment
right.
with Advent. Yep.
Yeah, so they should get pushed through the Bible reading plan. If you're not subscribed to that, Word at 32373.
Word.
That's right. Word up.
Yep.
Not Word up. Sorry.
No,
Word.
Word.
Also, we're starting our Advent series, so we'll go through 4 weeks of talking through the traditional Advent topics, and then we'll resolve it with our Christmas Eve candlelight service. We've got a musical worship service happening on the 7th. We're cramming it full of Christmas this year.
Beth,
so
we also have the women's
we
gathering.
do have the women's gathering coming up. Yeah. Tickets are still available, I think.
Yes,
right?
they are.
So go to.
Just
I don't know the link right now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm an embarrassment to communications and Michael Bowen. All right, I think that'll do. We'll see you guys next week. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks.